Welcome everybody. Pull this off. How's it going, everybody? My name is Joey Galvez, and I am here, and we are gonna be doing the show solo because today is Benjamin Moore's anniversary. So happy anniversary, Ben. We're gonna be talking to Alan, and we're gonna bring him in here in a second. We're gonna be talking about Grandma Chainsaw, Roseblood Manor, and all kinds of really cool stuff. Let's bring him on in. Alan, what's up, man?
Hi, Joey, it is so great to finally meet you.
Oh, thank you. This is
Yeah.
the first time that I've spoken to you. Um, I was told that I was going to be interviewing Chris Caraba, but I don't think you're Chris, right?
No,
I
I,
mean,
I no, I'm not. I am the Wish version.
the Wish version of
Yeah,
Dashboard
yeah,
Confessional. There you go, man. How's it going, dude? Long time no see. We haven't seen each other in like 2 days.
yeah,
But how's it going, man?
yeah. Dude, things are going great, and yeah, I agree with Jay. What an open, but I didn't realize how loud it was going to be.
Yeah, I know. We gotta we're testing some stuff out. I'm gonna have to talk to Ben a little bit and turn that volume down on that intro a little bit.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it stings a little
it,
bit, but
it's a gorgeous opening
yeah,
though, man. It's really cool. We're kicking it up a notch a little bit, man. We're doing last time since the last time you and I spoke to each other a little like solo like this. We're stepping it up just a little bit, man.
yeah.
So that's how it goes, right? You always want to continue to grow and doing a lot better, which is why we're here to talk about growth and creating really cool, fun stuff.
Mhm.
We're bringing you into the show because you have another Kickstarter for Grandma Chainsaw
Mhm.
job, and this is the third installment of this is the penultimate issue of Grandma Chainsaw.
Yes, that's
Tell
a
us a
big.
little bit
That's
about Grandma Chainsaw, man.
That's a big word for Elmo, Joey. So yeah, this is issue 3 of 4 for Grandma Chainsaw, and it's kind of crazy to think
Yeah.
that we're getting to the end of this series.
Yeah, it's super cool. This thing, like the first time that you excuse me, that you had ever showed me the book, I was like, this is absolutely nuts. Like, because we got together, Dave introduced us, and it was with Pocus, and then we did Grandma Chainsaw. And when you told me the concept about this thing and you sent me the book, and I was like, dude, this is nuts. I thought I had an idea, and I hear everybody talking about
Mhm.
this. I thought I had an idea of where this was going. I was like, cool, bunch of sexy teenagers in the woods, they get killed, right? And stuff like that, and it's just gonna be like, every other 80s horror movie
Mhm.
that's out there, right? And no, you the first issue, you at the last couple pages there, you gave us a twist. You brought in some people. Second issue, we got to know a little bit more about what they were doing and what's going on. A little bit more, we saw a little bit more with Grandma Hazel's house, which is crazy all in itself.
Yeah.
So and then this third issue, man, like the action just goes so quick. When you and Will were setting out to talk about to do this book,
Mhm.
did you guys have that? Sorry, my kiddos, they don't want to be in bed.
No, it's
Um,
okay. I get it, man. I'm right behind them, so I totally understand.
yeah,
Yeah.
sorry about that. But when you guys had this concept, did you guys was that something you guys had talked about from the beginning? Did you guys want it to be super fast and flowing that way?
Yeah, because dude, whenever you get to like especially a story like this, everyone already has it figured out, right? At least they think they do anyway. So it was one of those, we wanted to make sure that we told the story in as effective way as we possibly could, but we also wanted to have fun with it too. Um, and by doing that, we wanted the story to be as lightning fast as possible. But again, Joey, we've talked about this ad nauseum, but early on, we didn't want it just to be, our four main characters
Mhm,
because what could we it's a slasher for God's sakes. We needed to
mhm,
ramp up the body count, right? So then, we introduced the dead squad and it was just it just felt like it all fit together so well.
mhm.
Granted, we could be wrong. People could hate this. And they just didn't tell us, but we've been having so much fun writing it, and if we're making ourselves laugh in the process,
Mhm.
then I think that we're on the right track.
Yeah, yeah, man. Like this is such a fun book, and we talk about this thing every
Mhm.
day, man. But with each issue, and the stuff that you send me, I'm just like, dude, this is so fun. And I know the ending and I know how it's gonna happen, but the thing, the like the process of getting there, it's such a cool thing to kind of watch because what I had in my head from issue one when you told me about the ending and how you were gonna play these things out,
Mhm.
I had this kind of idea of how it was gonna happen. And you guys have blown me away because you guys brought in new characters and then even more new characters. And I'm
Yep.
just like, what else is gonna happen? And the craziness that this like I don't think there's any other comic out there like this right now.
Oh, well,
And
thank you, and I'm paying you to say that, but thank you.
okay,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit,
Yeah.
but no, I'm serious. Like, there is a few books out there that kind of in the direct market where I can kind of think of in my head, um, that this kind of would be in that realm and stuff, right? Yeah, obviously,
Mhm.
it's not like it's never happened, but this is like you don't see a lot of books doing this kind of stuff anymore. Is kind of I guess what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
Um, so talk a little bit about your process. You guys, how did is that was that something that you admired about books that you read? Because I know you're an avid collector as well.
Mhm. Yeah, so with the process, it was honestly, I know this is gonna sound absolutely ridiculous, but we really wanted to follow the keep it simple, stupid method,
Mhm.
right? Just because how this book is and how it's told, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We know the story that we're telling. It's been told 100 times. It's a slasher. Things are tropes for a reason, all that stuff, right? But we just wanted to have fun. And I think that that's the most important part because I think to me, um, whenever you're a creator, I mean, I think everyone's guilty of this. You are your own worst critic, and I question myself a lot on some of the decisions that we make as a group. And um, but whenever I see someone go live or do like a video review of Grandma Chainsaw, the biggest takeaway from it is that they're always smiling, and that makes me so happy because it's such a
Yeah.
ridiculous book, but it's our ridiculous book, and it's the reader's book as much as it is ours, right? So it's
Yeah.
just yeah, man, there's just so many just fantastic things about this whole process.
I know the last few times that we spoke, you've been sending me a couple of different things. Yeah, I think you kind of went down a rabbit hole and like you were
I
searching
did, yeah.
Grandma Chainsaw on like YouTube, and
Yeah,
you
I
found
was
a ton
well,
of
I
people.
looked it up because I was just seeing, who like, if we had any new reviews up because, of course, I like to try to
Mhm.
shout out people who
Yeah.
take their time to review it, even if it's a negative review.
Yeah.
Like, I still wanna say, "Hey, thank you
Mhm.
so much for even caring to make it that far." Right?
Right.
But, yeah, man,
Yeah.
and then I saw a couple and, like, it really just made my night watching that happen.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool because you sent me a couple of different people that
Mhm,
like I've never heard of these people, right? And they're
mhm.
talking about Grandma Chainsaw, and it's kind of cool because you know I used to be that person.
Yeah,
Like 5 years ago, I used to be the creator who was interviewing comic book creators. I was a podcaster talking to them and doing all that stuff, and it was
mhm,
because I really loved the stuff that they were doing. And now being kind of watching you guys do it from the back end and seeing the hi just kidding, and watching you guys work in the background
yeah,
and seeing how that process, because I've never been a part of a team like that before,
yeah,
is really kind of cool to kind of see other people talk about this stuff kind of like I was, like, fanboying out about all that kind of stuff. So
yeah.
it's really cool to kind of see that happen.
Yeah, dude. And it's obviously, it's been great having you. And you've always been so supportive of everything, and and it's great to always bounce ideas off of each other too,
Mhm.
because I think the one thing too that like we always want to drive home is that Grandma Chainsaw isn't my book. It's not Will's book. It's not Brian's book. Jason and now Carrie and Dave. It's all of our book. That's the thing because everyone is putting so much time, effort, and energy into each page, and you just can't take that away from anybody.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely. And you mentioned Jason there a little bit. Let's go
Yeah.
ahead and touch on that a little bit because Jason, we unfortunately lost Jason this year, the last few weeks,
Mhm.
and he was part of the team for the last 3, because you guys have been doing this for 3 years now, right? And he,
So yeah, coming on 3 years
mhm,
because Will and I finished the script for Pocus One in October of
crazy stuff, man,
yeah of
breakneck speed.
dude, right, we finished in October 2020, and Brian Belondo wasn't available yet to
Mhm,
do it, but he was the guy that we wanted.
okay.
So we waited for him, and then once his schedule finally freed up, then we got Brian, and then now here we are. And then of course Jason was our colorist ever since.
Mhm, yeah,
Yep.
and he did fantastic work, and
Mhm.
unfortunately we lost him when you guys started production on issue 3.
Mhm.
And so you guys had to kind of make a quick change on the in the colors, and those are one of those things that is really hard, right, to do
Yeah.
sometimes, to when there's something unfortunate happen where you can't move forward with the same exact team that you've been together on, and then you get into this groove with, working with everyone, and you gotta, abruptly change that a little bit.
Mhm.
How are you, can you speak on to how you guys adjusted from something like that to now? Because we also wanted to make sure that we are still, living up to, I don't know if we can say legacy, but living up to
Mhm.
what Jason did, to issue 1 and 2, and then changing the colorist and moving
Yeah.
on to issue
No, man,
3.
legacy was the right word to use. And used another word that was really good too, and that's adjust, right? Because what Jason did was absolutely irreplaceable. Um, you can't help but when you work with the same team for coming up on 3 years to not get close with everybody. Like all of us are friends. I talk to Jason just about every day, right? And it's you know Kevin Joseph worded it the best whenever we talked about it, and it was, of course we'll miss the work obviously
Mhm.
because it was always so great to look at, but we'll miss the person, you know
Yeah.
and I think that it was kind of cool to see the community because we had people reaching out to us, uh, not trying
Yeah.
to be, and I said this yesterday on a podcast, but not trying to be like predatory or anything, but just genuinely wanting to help
Mhm.
because, even in the indie scene, we all become friends together too. We all get close, right? And then when one of us struggles, we're all trying to pick the other back up. And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and Carrie was one who also stepped up and offered her talents. And Carrie and I, we've been in communication before with other projects because she does a lot of stuff with Bad Bugs, so naturally our paths have crossed. And she, even before this, she did a cover for Grandma 3, which is our thumbnail cover that we have.
Yeah.
So it felt like it was just the right decision with
Yeah.
her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, and I'll pull that up for the people who
Yeah.
are watching now. Um, yeah, it's gorgeous, and I think, and I think on a show the other night when you were on there, I mentioned in the comments is that, she did, and I don't know exactly how I worded it, but she um, picked up and still did, him justice, right?
Yes.
She's not like, doing her own thing or anything. She's definitely doing, her version of what his work would have been. I, and
100%.
I think and I think number one, that's hard for an artist to do,
Mhm.
you know what I mean, to pick up on somebody else's
Yeah,
art
because
style.
and I guess this is kind of like behind the curtain a little bit here. Of
Mhm.
course, whenever we were talking to her, we were telling her, like, hey, obviously we don't want it to be jarring for the reader too, and
Yeah,
we also want to pay respect to Jason. So we told her to obviously mimic his style as much as you comfortably can, right?
yeah.
Because we don't want to force anything, and I think that she did a really good job. And
Mhm,
in the back of this book for the readers, Jason did complete 2 pages of the book. He completed page 1 and 2.
mhm.
So we will be putting those in the back of the book just so that
Very
way
cool.
that they can even kind of
Yeah,
see like, oh, that's cool that they were able to kind of pull that off too and everything.
yeah.
So, but yeah, and this whole campaign is dedicated to Jason's memory and stuff. Of course, I don't want to dwell on it too long.
Right,
I don't want
right.
everyone to be sad this whole
Yeah,
time
right.
we're doing this thing. But you know what I mean. He was,
Because it's a celebration, right?
yeah,
It's a
it really
celebration
is.
of
Yep.
his life and a celebration of the things that he's done for us
Mhm.
and you guys in the past 3 years. So it's a celebration of what he's done and the
Yep.
creations that he's created. Because what an amazing talent. He was a Ringo nominated creator. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
He spanned from working with DC, Marvel, all kinds of different things, in indie and all this stuff. So he definitely was a pillar to this indie
Mhm.
community that is out there. So, but we do want to take a look at the Kickstarter here a little bit. Um, tell us a little bit about this issue here. Tell us where we catch up and everything on all that good stuff here as I scroll through for you.
Man, it's issue 3, and it takes place right after the events of issue 1. We always try to do that with our books. We're
And spoiler warning, just in
Yeah,
case
I
you
mean,
jumped in.
okay, yeah, so at this point, I mean, I think it's kind of impossible to
Right.
not give out spoilers just because, right? You get so
Right.
far into a story, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, so, uh, issue 2 ends with, 4 of our characters being trapped in Hazel's bedroom, and it begins right where that left off with them, and especially
Mm.
like we really wanted to drive home the human force because the twins Hayden and Gabby, our two main characters, they're coming to terms with the loss of their partners
Mm.
from
Yeah.
issue 1 because they haven't had time to grieve. Like, since everything happened, it's just been a whirlwind. So we of course want to throw in that human element into that part, but then
Mm.
what's waiting for them outside the door is the doll maker, and we get to see that in the preview pages as well. And the doll maker was such a fun, cool concept to write, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, just this being that just God, I don't even know, like just takes Hazel's old victims and puts them into changes them into porcelain dolls, right?
Here we're looking at the doll maker now.
Mhm.
Pretty crazy looking. This is a crazy looking page. You have the main character there being ripped apart by the doll maker to create a new creation out
Yep.
of this person. So it's a little gruesome there, but that's how we start off issue 3.
Yeah, why not, right?
Yeah, and very very cool because we and it picks it right up and it feels
Mhm.
just like right where you left off.
Yeah, and
And it throws
again,
right back in the
that's
middle.
always the point of the books, right?
Yeah.
We always want to pick right back up where we left off just
Mhm.
because for us that makes the most sense to do it that way.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And then you guys have some new stuff here that you guys haven't done in the past campaigns here, right?
Yeah,
You guys have,
the blood foil, that's the big one.
yes, blood foil and
Mhm.
the blood metal you guys have.
Yes. Yeah, dude, those things have been awesome to make.
Very
Like, I absolutely love those, and Brian's designs, of course, I'm a big fan of anything Brian does.
cool.
But those blood covers especially, I just think that, of course, they fit the theming so well.
Yeah.
You know, everything just kind of felt right on this campaign. And then, of course, we love our covers.
Mhm.
And we have 4 covers altogether, not excluding the blood medals, right?
Right.
Um, Brian, and that this is awesome. The house. And because we talked about it and we wanted another like Grandma Chainsaw 1 feeling
Mhm.
cover where it looked like it could
Yeah.
be a movie poster, right?
And it does. It feels like a movie.
Yeah, 100%.
And what's really cool about this here, with this image that we're looking at here, with the overhead view and the over the top of the house with the trees coming in, it almost looks like a face,
Mhm.
like it's creating a face. And you and I were talking on the back end a little bit. I was like, hey, I need because there's a Stephanie Mooney print, right?
Yep.
That has been unlocked. Um, and I was looking at it, I was like, whoa, wait a minute, did you like prompt either of these two people to about to this artwork, right? And you're
Yep.
like, no, because what's crazy about it is Stephanie Mooney's print has the has a almost very similar thing where
Mhm.
the house is center frame, and then you got these branches coming in, and it looks like there's a face out that made out of the house and the branches, just
Yep.
like Brian did here. And
Yeah.
you
Awesome,
didn't prompt
right?
either of
Yeah.
them on that.
No, I didn't. Yeah, and it turned out great.
Yeah, it's so nuts.
Yeah,
It's so
it's
nuts.
cool, but sometimes it's really cool seeing the hive mind mentality, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Jay Bird says my favorite panel. I need a poster of this.
Yeah, I think he's talking about the part 3 page
Yeah,
that
our
we
part
have.
3 page. Yeah. So I thought that was really cool because sometimes when you have creators that on the, like, they're kind of on the same wavelengths, and they all know kind of where this is going to go, and that's how you know that you probably found the perfect freaking
Yeah,
team for this project, which is really cool.
yeah, dude. Again, okay. So of course we always have to have a Kit Wallace cover.
This is a nasty cover too.
Yeah.
Crazy. His cover's
So
always fire,
he actually did this cover. That was his cover for Grandma 2.
dude.
But we had him do the manga cover, and then we used this one for Grandma 3.
Yeah, very cool. I think it works better with with Grandma 3 of
Because that was the
all,
last time you get to see everyone alive.
and then all of these covers here, they kind of just then I don't know, they just kind of fit together.
Mhm.
It's weird how it does. And then this one was one of my favorite here. This is the Kari cover that you were talking about. It almost looks like grandma's holding a plate of dumplings, but it's
Yeah, it's
got,
stuff full of disgusting treats, right?
yeah,
Um,
disgusting body parts.
yeah, and then of course the heart forming in the smoke.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was the
Oh, you know
cherry on
what? That's
top.
the first time I actually seen that. That's
Oh, really?
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. Looked at this campaign for how many months now,
hmm Yeah,
and that's so
the
good.
heart is the big selling point
That
on
is
that
that
thing.
is genius. I freaking love that. I love that. And
Yep.
then obviously we got a Ruben Macho cover here with the doll maker.
Yep.
Very cool.
And what I loved about this is with these covers, and again, it was the creative decision for the story. I let all the artists work independently when they make their covers because I don't like to hold anyone back. But
Yeah.
we see a lot less chainsaw on these covers because it's like, all right,
Yeah.
we get it. It's a grandma with a chainsaw. There's only one, right?
There's only yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. There's only one
hmm
grandma with a chainsaw on the cover.
Yep.
And I love it. Yeah, and this looks really cool. And here we go. Here's the little bit closer of the blood metal there of the
Yep.
blood what
God, it looks so
artwork
good.
the artwork we're going to use for that. Very,
Yep.
very cool. And then here's some preview comic pages there. If you guys want to read the first, what is that? We got 6 pages here.
Yeah, it's I think it starts on page 4. I think this is like 3 through 8, something like that.
Mhm.
Yep, and then our part
It's
3.
very cool. And you got some really great looking affordable tiers here, reward tiers. And
Yeah,
talk
I
a little
mean,
bit about the tiers because you guys always do some really cool stuff, and they're always really affordable. They're always like at
mhm.
that perfect price point.
Yeah, so of course we always want to build these campaigns for fans new and old, and we don't want to price anybody out. So like, for example, what you're about to see right here, $20 physical catch up, you get the first 3 issues.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
You can
cut and dry. There it
yeah,
is. And you
go.
get all 3 PDFs as well.
Very cool.
But yeah, and we like to always try
You
to
can't
mix
even
it
get
up.
that in the shop. You only get the
Yeah.
hard the floppy in the
Yeah.
shops.
So and that's the thing too that we really like to do with this. We always want to make sure people can kind of do an a la carte system where they build their own bundles.
And
They
then you got
build it. Yeah.
$25 for a PDF for 9 PDF downloads.
Yep. And so that is everything that we've done. That's Pocus 1 through 5, Grandma 1 through 3, and Horse and Hell number 1.
Now is that gonna include like back matter or like extras that you guys have done, like the black and white?
Yeah, so we usually just link. We're pretty generous whenever we do digital library stuff. We usually just link like even our short stories.
Dang.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah, we
lot.
yeah we link those too.
That's a grip, man. Like a
Yep.
lot.
Oh,
And
there
then
she is.
$30 for the blood foil. When
Just
you
look
were
at it.
pricing these and you were telling me, I was like, "Oh man, are you sure you want to put it? You don't want to do it at 40?"
Yeah, because and that's the thing too, right? Like, we always try to think, what would a past backer think if they came into this campaign and looked at it this way? And they're like, well, I paid $30 last time for a foil. Why are you charging me more? Right.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, printing and cost does go up, but we always try to take that into consideration when we're pricing all
Mhm.
this stuff.
Yeah. And $35 for all covers.
Yep. Oh, look at
That's a
them.
great deal.
Yep. And then our physical library here.
$45 for 9 books.
Yep.
I don't even think you can do that in the shop at all. Like you're giving this stuff away.
Yeah, it's pretty much $5 a book then at that point. And then, so one thing that we've been really fortunate about is we've had a lot of retailers reach out that do want to carry our stuff, which is awesome. So we always want to make sure that we have a bundle ready for them, ready to go.
$50 for 15 books for retailers. That's really good.
Yep. And then of course we offer each of the covers in a metal.
Very cool. And there's that $65 blood medal.
It's going to be beautiful.
Gorgeous,
It is
gorgeous.
going to be beautiful. And then obviously $100 pick two. I Heart Hazel. That's when you can just get a bunch of just stuff together.
And then you have $250 for
Mm,
all covers, all medals, even the blood foil.
right. And then the grandchild, of course, that's the big tier. But one of the biggest, and of course, with add-ons, you can mix and match everything, and then pick up any past issues of any of the stuff that you guys may have missed from
Mhm.
previous campaigns. Um, but one of the things too that I wanted to talk about was
Mhm.
another cool add-on that we did. And I didn't even know if I wanted to mention it. Was that you get to be drawn into the book,
Yeah. Okay.
but that's already gone.
It's
So
gone.
that was gone. That was gone day one.
And how many of those did you guys do? You
We
did
had
like
four.
four of
Yeah.
them.
Mhm.
Four of them, and you guys priced them at $50 too, didn't you?
Yeah, we did.
So that like usually those are those big tiers on other campaigns. They're
Mhm.
like 250, $300. You straight up put them in there for $50.
Yeah, add on $50. Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's pretty cool because I've always wanted to do those tiers where like I got drawn in the book, but they were
Mhm.
always way too expensive.
Because you usually have to get like the big tier, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh. So I love that. And then you guys did a really cool in memory of Jason here
Mhm. Yep.
at the end there. So very cool. Very cool, man. I love this. Okay, where are we going with this story? What are we doing?
I can't tell you. So yeah, we have one more issue left.
All right, man.
That's
And
that's
that's
what you need to know. Yeah, we
after
got
reading this, there's still
yeah.
a lot that has to be that I got to
Mhm.
see.
Yep.
So is it going to be like extremely action packed?
Issue 4 is
Oh,
100%. Yeah. Yeah, issue 4 is it's the last act of the movie, right?
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to get some of our exposition out of the way. We're going to get our why behind the stuff that's happening, and then we just get to go crazy.
That's awesome. Okay, let's talk. Let's shift gears here and let's talk a little bit about Roseblood Manor. You because you
Ah,
wrote.
yeah.
We're gonna do a sexy NSFW book here. So if any of you out there are don't want to see anything that is it's tame, but it is still NSFW. So
Yep.
just letting you guys know there. Tell us a little bit about Roseblood Manor. This is the second issue that you've been on, but it's the third issue, correct?
This you're close. It's the third issue I've been on, and it's the fourth issue of the
Okay,
book.
sorry.
Yeah, I
My
was
bad.
on Will and I did a story for 1 and 2.
Okay.
Uh we weren't on 3, and then Brian and I did a story for number 4. Um so what Roseblood Manor is, it's kind of like a Tales from the Crypt anthology, but all the stories and the frame narrative are overarching with everything. So it's a cool, fun read, man. And
Yeah.
so obviously, Bad Bug Media always puts out something completely unexpected. They put out great stuff,
Mhm.
and this one's helmed by Scott Wilkie, John McLeod, and Chris Jerome.
Very
Um,
cool.
you know, Chris is responsible for all the lore. John and Scott are there for editing and story purposes too. So everyone's working together on this and just making something so fun and unique. And
Very
I
cool.
got tasked on this one, and it was kind of one of those things. Like, I thought of the story ahead of time, and they liked it enough to just use it.
Mhm.
It was the story for the main character, like our crypt keeper, Evelyn Roseblood. So I get to kind of tell her origin story.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Hmm.
And this one we're looking at is Death in the Family by Scott Wilkie.
Yeah, so this is the frame narrative. So this is the story that will span from start to finish.
Okay.
Yep.
Great. And then A Performance to Die For,
Yeah,
Travis Gibb.
written by
I
your
have
friend
no
of
idea
mine,
who it is.
Travis Gibb.
I
Yep.
don't know who that is.
Yeah, never heard of him.
Never heard of him. I don't know if anybody else has, but if you guys have, please let us
Mhm.
know.
Yep.
Um, so that's one looks pretty cool.
Yeah, Travis,
Lane.
yeah, he wrote Travis wrote a lot of crazy stuff, man, in his day, but this one's up there.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. We know who Travis is, and he's a good guy. This is a really great looking book. Looking story here. I love who's the artist on this one. We got Mike Mora,
Mhm.
and then I don't want to mess up the
Go
name.
for it.
Damir
Try it.
Rosic.
That sounds good. That Rosic. Yeah.
On Dave Lentes.
Uh,
Dave
yeah.
Lentes.
Davina. Yes.
Davina.
Yeah, all these guys are banding together to make something super special, man.
Very cool.
And Runaway, Brian Hawkins, love him. Uh,
Brian Hawkins is my dude.
yeah. So what's funny is we all were joking about it too. Brian's story, like everyone else's story, is kind of like fun and crazy.
Uh
Brian's is crazy, but it just really brings the room down
huh.
because it's heavy, but it's what was needed, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Listen.
yeah.
Brian Hawkins is a really great horror writer, and he
Mhm.
really knows how to bring in like the human aspect to it.
Yep.
Like he really does. Like that's the one thing, man.
And Joey, I don't know if you noticed this or not, but on those pages,
Uh-huh.
you might see something familiar. It's the painting from the Wandering Man from issue one
I
that we
was
read.
wondering that
Yeah,
looks familiar, and so does this bookcase. Looks
yeah,
very familiar.
it's all from the Wandering Man.
Oh, I
Yep.
love it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Brian, that was really cool. And then this one's mine and Brian's. This is All's Well That Ends in a Well.
Oh, that's a
That's an Allen title and a half,
that's
isn't
a
it?
great title.
Yeah, it's funny as hell. I don't care what you
Oh.
say.
You couldn't have thought anything
Yeah.
up a little bit better than that one.
Nope.
I'm just kidding.
It's
I'm
too good. So yeah,
just
this
kidding. I give
follows.
you a hard time.
Yeah, Evelyn Roseblood tumbles into the source of the manor's powers. Yep. So
Very cool. And you guys did a little bit of a different kind of color scheme here, like color style.
yeah, so Ruben, he is such a good and meticulous artist, right? Because like
Yeah.
I get so used to working with Brian or with Kit, and I send them something, and I'm just like, hey, have fun, go at it. Like I try not to ever limit artists or unless there's like something really strong I feel about, right?
Yeah.
But with Ruben, I said, all right, man, here you go, have fun. And Ruben was like, no, what do you want? And I said, oh, just do whatever. And he's like, no, what do you want? So then we had to sit down and figure it out. And he said, okay, what time period does this take place in?
Mm,
Okay, this is this.
yeah.
And it's like, okay, cool. Ruben wanted to draw it with something that looked like it came from that time period and color it with flats just so it gives that
I love that.
vintage, like when you
It
look
does.
at it, it looks vintage.
It does. It
Yeah.
feels different. It doesn't feel like you're in. Yeah,
Yeah.
it totally does exactly what you think.
Mhm.
It's like it gives you this out of place feeling.
Yes. And it's striking enough to set itself also apart from everything else too, because yeah, the colors are
Mm-hmm.
flats, but it makes the characters that much more dynamic in the forefront.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you, Jay. I agree with that.
Jay says peak title. Where do you go from there, Alan?
Nowhere. I thought Grandma Chainsaw was going to be it, but that's it.
Yeah, you got one
Yeah.
Pocus Hocus, Grandma Chainsaw.
Yeah.
What else? Deacon Dan's
Famous chili.
Famous Chili. And then yeah, you're on a roll with these titles here, man. And then they have a blood cover too, a blood foil cover here too.
Yeah. So that was the idea for where we got them from because I
You
helped Mike
stole it.
ship some of his book. Well, I mean, I asked Mike how they do and stuff like that, but yeah, man, it's a cool idea and it fits with the concept. But ours is less sexy than this.
Yeah, yeah, less
Yeah.
sexy. And they do have some really gorgeous looking sexy covers here, naughty
Mhm.
versions and all that stuff. It's not a bad bug book if they're not naughty, right?
They're here to party if it's naughty, dude. But
There you go.
yeah, man, of course, and Mike knows how to pick out covers.
Yeah, yeah.
That's that
This is a gorgeous looking cover here.
obviously Mike runs a tight ship. He runs his business really well. But
I love that
the
dead
thing that
person
he
on the
does the best is pick out these cover artists. Like good
yeah,
on
and
him.
he
Yeah.
does he does a really good job at finding the cover artists who can draw our hostess here
Mhm.
in different and like it's so many like every single I don't think there's one cover that is alike, right?
Right.
And especially the way they portray her. Obviously there's things that how you have to stick to the character, right?
Mhm.
You can't but what like the way they're kind of bringing themselves out into it, and it is so cool to kind of see how many different varieties and different ways that people can portray this person here.
Right.
Very very cool. Like every cover, it's
No,
so
no.
cool to see. Like every cover is nuts to see
Yeah.
the different takes on on what's her name,
On
Evelyn.
Evelyn. Yep,
Evelyn.
Evelyn Roseblood. Yeah.
Yeah, so cool. And then Alan here wearing his sexy T-shirt here, his
Yeah.
sexy torso.
Yeah, you caught me. You know.
That's
Yeah.
there we go. You guys all got to get you guys a gorgeous looking ghost cat
And
T-shirt,
then
right?
of course, shout out to Jay Hammond who is doing some of the stretch goals for this.
Very
So
cool. Let's
yep,
do where are our stretch goals here? These
right
ones
there.
here.
Yep.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, Jay Hammond's such a cool. I love his art style.
Yep.
It is so cool. Like if you guys looking for some artists with a really cool art style that's different, hit up Jay Hammond's really good.
Hmm.
Very cool looking. And then awesome. You guys got all the particulars here at the bottom. You guys want to see there. Very cool, man. I always love these anthologies are hard on Kickstarter,
Hmm.
one, right? But this anthology does really good all the time, and I think you guys now have this set in base, right? And
Yes.
and then now you guys are moving a little bit further than that. So how do you guys from going from the having this set in base, how do you guys kind of expand from that?
Um, I think that the expansion part is just supposed to be like a natural progression, right?
Okay.
I think you just keep making the stories and the books that you want to make, and then the audience will come, right? Because if you're taking care of your old readers, you're definitely going to find new readers in the
Yeah.
process. So it's just keep going. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. You here's a big tip with Kickstarter. Your first one right out the gate is probably gonna fail, right?
Mhm.
Only because if you're not, and that's if you're not doing anything, right? If you're going out there and pre-campaigning before the Kickstarter launches, if you're going out there and building your base, if you're going out there and massaging the community, I
Mm.
guess that's the only way I could think of.
Yeah.
Like going out there igniting the community and being a part of it and getting in there. If you don't do those things before your campaign and you just kind of come out the gate and expect it, just do what it is because the art is great, that your team is awesome, that you have some really great covers and some you've paid for like $750 for these big huge names on your covers, right? But you don't necessarily know that just because the names that these books are going to be great, right? So you
Yeah.
have to go out there and do your work. You have to go out there and make sure that you're out there and grinding all the time. So
Yep.
talk to us a little bit about how that why is that so important to go out there and grind before before anything you even think about creating a page.
Because you need to gauge the response. And you also need to be a realist. Like, um, Grandma 3, like Joey, we talked about it, and
Mhm.
we already knew it wasn't going to do as well as the others.
Mm.
And that's me being a realist, right? Because here's the thing, we've not kept it a secret. People ask how many issues is this going to be? It's going to be 4. So you have a lot of people who wait for the trade.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
Mhm.
So that's why we were smart with how we marketed it, how we priced everything, because coming up, once we get to issue 4, that's when we get to go crazy because it's the last issue. We will have a trade on that campaign. We are going to have a special edition hardback. Like, there's going to be a lot of stuff on there, but
Mhm.
we didn't want to throw everything at the wall on this and it fizzle out because also we're launching during October.
Yeah.
We're not the only horror comic launching right now.
Mhm. Mhm.
It is what it is. So we just have to, just got to take it on the chin, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have a question because I have a theory, but I also kind of want to be, I want people to prove me wrong sometimes. And the reason why I'm saying this is because because if you have a horror book, and we're talking about comic books here, if you're doing a comic book in October on
Mhm.
Kickstarter, do you feel like it's better to launch in October, or do you feel like it's better to launch in November and then
Dude,
have your book
yeah.
done by October 31st?
Dude, I don't know. Like, because here's the thing, man. I could tell you one thing, but then I see people. launch at a time when I wouldn't ever launch, and they kill it. You know, so it's just it's just luck of the draw. Like, and I know that there is like a certain algorithm that people do try to
Mhm.
follow and all this
Yeah,
stuff, but man, at this point, you know, I think it has you got to trust your intuition, trust your gut,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Launch whenever you feel ready. Launch whenever you feel comfortable.
yeah. I think that's
Mhm.
yeah, that works, right?
Yeah.
Um, but but I here's my theory, right? And I always kind of and I think it's more like geared towards like a Christmas book, right? Because if you got a Christmas book, people want to launch in December, and then you're not going to get that book out till the next year, right?
Mhm.
So I'm thinking if it's a Christmas book, you want people to open it up during Christmas, so launch at least 1 or 2 months before, so that you're distributing your book, and so that people can put it underneath the Christmas tree for someone, and they're opening your book on Christmas. It's a Christmas book,
Yeah.
and it only just feels natural.
Yeah.
So, so maybe my theory isn't wrong. Maybe that one it only pertains to Christmas books.
Yeah.
But
You just don't know. Like I said, man, you just don't know. Like, yeah, Kickstarter's wild, but you know what I will tell you though is like, if you do know some people that are seasoned, granted,
Mhm.
take everyone's advice with a grain of salt because
Yeah,
you know your product better than everybody else, right?
true. Yeah.
It's kind of like asking someone for I don't know, I guess just advice on anything. You know, you still have your gut feeling, but
Mhm.
also be willing to listen to the people who've done this for a while. But
Yeah.
also keep in mind, and I'm going to sound like it's an oxymoron, like I'm talking in circles, but what works for them might not work for you. But it's
Right.
always good to take in everyone's viewpoint and
Mhm.
mold your own out of it.
Except for when you guys are hiring me, listen to me though.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
No, no, you're absolutely right. Right?
Mm.
Because I've had clients where we've gone back and forth and talked about, oh, should we relaunch there, should we do it that now, are we going to lose a chance here, I mean, is it we're not gaining speed with this pre-launch campaign like we really wanted to, so should we hold back, right? and
Mhm.
and, and all those questions that come up like during that thing, and there's always people that have difference of opinions, and so they give you a little bit of pushback, and that's all good, right? But and just like you're saying, follow your gut and all that stuff, but also sometimes it's also good to fail so that you can learn from those mistakes, and also so you can have those numbers of the things that actually worked,
Right.
because it's almost like market research, right? You put
Mhm.
it out there, you put yourself out there, you campaigned, and you now have these numbers, that people purchase these different items, and now you can use those things to kind of adjust and go back and fix your campaign and do something a little different, and then watch those numbers, and then tackle those numbers in a way that you feel that could work for the next time around.
Mhm.
um how do you feel that you guys do a lot of the same kinds of things, using those things and adjusting and taking those numbers from past campaigns into consideration?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think it would be dumb not to, right? Like because those are the best results that you could possibly have.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like you know they're the most true. But you know again, it's like you look at like did we launch at a bad time? Did we do this? Did we do that? What didn't we do right? You
Mhm.
know. So it's yeah. There's just so much, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Mhm.
I want to move switch gears here and talk a little bit about a small project that I'm doing. It's not a small project. It's a huge project. But it's really cool. It's called Don't Push the Red Button.
Mhm.
And this one's a fun project because it's a 100 plus page anthology. It's going to explore 11 different stories from over 30 professional comic book creators, spanning multiple genres of this, and it's called Don't Push the Red Button. And it's about the social dilemma, or this question of, if you were if somebody approached you and asked you to press a red button, you get a lot of money, but the one catch is somebody has to die, and it's not necessarily a stranger, right? Would you
Mhm.
still press that button? Alan, would you press the button if that question was asked to you, man?
Nah, man, listen, I'm still thinking of comebacks to stuff I heard in the third grade. So like something like this would haunt me.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you would be the person who does not push the button.
No,
You would
nah.
not push the button. See, it's hard because I don't want to be that person who who pushes the button, and then it's like somebody really close to me who dies or
Yeah.
something, right? But we explore that here in Don't Push the Red Button. This one was curated by Oscar Osario. He's from Lima, Peru, and what's really cool is he thought about this while he was having a conversation with his girlfriend, and they were just kind of discussing these kind of things, and they were in a new relationship, and you just kind of get to know people, and you just have one of those little fun little conversations. And they talked about if they pushed a button, would they do it, and how many different things. And then he was writing a comic book in this at this point, and he's like, how cool would this be for a comic book idea?
Hmm.
And he started seeing people do these anthologies, and people like Roseblood Manor, and people like Travis Gibb, and doing all these different anthologies that are really successful, and that has all these really great names attached. So he put out the call, and over 100 comic book creators answered the call, and he had to sift through all of those creators just to get 11 stories. But really wild. And because he's had all those submissions, there could be potential for a volume 2 and volume and continuous
Yeah.
volumes for this, which is really cool, because this is one of those stories that you can come up with any kind of. It's like a really cool prompt that you can come up with any story with, right?
Hmm.
um so it's really cool. And we kind of because I built your guys' campaign, we kind of stayed really close to kind of that simple, keep it simple, stupid kind of thing. We wanted to make sure that people can read first few pages here, just like we wanted to make sure that everybody can read the first few pages of Grandma Chainsaw, so that you guys can if you want to. It shows that investment, right? We're investing in this book, we're investing in you guys, so we would love you guys to invest in us. And I feel like giving somebody the opportunity to do that, to read this and kind of understand that we're serious about this,
Yeah.
kind of gives that idea of, hey, we're in this for the long haul, so let's do this.
Right.
um it's
And when
got
is this launching? Did you finally decide yet?
So we're considering doing it on the 23rd of October.
Okay.
So that's the launch date right now. So make sure you guys, if you guys are going out there and hitting that notify me on launch, you just head on over to geekcollective.net/red button. And then you guys can click that. Make sure you do that, because this is
Man,
gorgeous.
just launch it now, you coward.
I listen. It's I'm not gonna launch it now because it's not completed yet.
And you're a coward.
There's a couple things I need to finish on this page here. This page is there's I gotta fix the early bird tiers and
Yeah.
make sure that they're all set up. But as soon as those early bird tiers, we're golden. But this has got a gorgeous cover from a main cover from Francesca Fantini. Gorgeous cover art here. And then we got a cover from Liana Kangas. And we have some holofoil covers and black light activated glow in the dark cover here. Really, really cool. And then here's some really gorgeous looking interior pages here. This one is from Oscar Azar. The curator wrote the first 5, 6. I think he's gonna do first 8 pages of the story. It's gonna have the overarching thing, kind of idea like you guys were talking about as
Hmm.
well. And so he's gonna take that task on and write that portion of it. And this is the first 8 pages of the story here. We have 6 of them here, so you guys can see this. The interior art is done by Francesca Fantini as well. Gorgeous. If you guys haven't seen her stuff, oh man, it's so freaking cool looking. Really cool stuff here. So there's all kinds of really good looking stuff here with this. We got some really affordable tiers, early birds. You guys can grab a bunch of really good stuff. Um, Same, we kind of went with the same idea that Grandma Chainsaw, keep it really simple, really
Hmm.
affordable. You got $35 for cover A. You get $30, $35 for the cover B, 45 for the holofoil variant. You get both covers for $55.
Hmm.
And then there you got $120 retail tier, and you can also be drawn into this one as well for $120 as well. And then you get all items for $150.
Okay.
And then here we go. You can also read through all the log lines and all of the different people here. We have a team. We got Travis Gibb and his team that are going to be writing up a story here. We have a story from David Stahl, Mario Candelaria and his team, Marcus Nasso, who did who did some really good stuff out there as well. Matt Mortal's going to be on this one. Really great looking story here on this book. So make sure you guys. This one is not live yet. It is up for.
Oh, Joey, you're muted. You're still muted. Okay, I'll take over for Joey. Um, he needs to launch this book because he's a coward. Um, and it is a good book though. Oh, Joey, you're still muted. Bless his heart. I don't know if I'm muted or if Joey's muted. Is anyone even watching this right now to tell us who it is? I know. I think he's realizing it. But for everyone listening, yeah, make sure you follow the red button. Back Grandma Chainsaw if you can. If you're into wild, fun, crazy horror stories,
I
and of
lost
course,
connection, man. I
hey,
can't
there
hear
you go.
nothing.
Hey, I got it. I can hear you now, Joey.
What happened?
I don't know. You're probably one of your 20 kids ran up and tripped something. Bless his
I don't
heart.
know what happened, man.
It's okay. Just unplug your headphones. That's it. I'll just come through your speakers. It's just me now. All right, guys. This is a takeover. Again, back Grandma Chainsaw, back Roseblood Manor. Follow along with don't push the red button, just so that way you can be there and be in the
That was
ready.
weird. The whole thing stopped. Like my whole
Yeah,
freaking internet stopped. It was weird. Sorry.
that's all right. That's all right. I took care of it. I told everyone to back Grandma Chainsaw. We're good.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was saying.
Yeah.
Grandma Chainsaw and don't push the red button.
Yep.
Thank you. I appreciate you for being professional
Well,
and
I
taking
mean,
over for me, man.
yeah, no, but for real, all the titles that you've seen here tonight, like I said, Grandma Chainsaw, Roseblood Manor 4, and follow along with Don't Push the Red Button. So whenever
Very
they
cool.
decide to finally launch that, you guys can be in the know.
Yeah, that'll come up very, very soon. As soon as I'm done, we'll launch it.
Yep.
But yeah, check it out. Alan, I appreciate you for hanging out with me. We're just a few minutes here from the end of the hour, but um, what's next for you guys, man? What's coming up next after Grandma Chainsaw?
So we're doing Grandma 3, then we're doing Grandma 4, and then it's looking like Horus 2, and then Pocus 6.
Very, very cool, man.
Yep.
I'm super excited about that. Man, you guys got to check out all of these really cool stuff. Alan, we're gonna get out of here because I know you need to get up really early. I
Yes,
kept you too
Monday
long
morning for
already.
work. Yep.
But yeah, make sure you guys are all checking out all these really cool Kickstarters. If you are not on Kickstarter, go sign up because it's such a cool place. You can find all kinds of really fun stuff there. Um, if you guys like there's so many really cool comic book stories that you can find on Kickstarter, and there's something for everybody. It's like I always say this, Alan. I know you're probably tired of me saying it, but I say Kickstarter is like a really cool curated shelf of a comic shop.
Yep.
Like that's the way I can explain it. So if you want to rummage through the Kickstarter shelf, sign up for Kickstarter and check it out and see what there's always something there for everybody.
Okay. Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. And again, Kickstarter always offers a unique experience that you can't get
Right.
into a comic shop as well. So,
Yeah, totally. And there's always some really fun stuff
yep.
there. Alan, let everybody know where they can find you on social media.
Yeah, you can find us. Obviously, follow us on Kickstarter. I think that's one of the biggest things, and sometimes people might, overlook that, but that's the best way to get notified on our projects because you get an email directly sent to you whenever we're going. You can follow me on Twitter at Chaps of Fury and our newsletter, just tophatstudios.substack.com.
Very cool. Thank you guys for watching us. You guys can follow us at _geekcollective.net or _geekcollective on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. You can find me at Joey Galvez 1984 all over all the places. And then just follow us on Kickstarter as well. And then Substack as well. It's thegeekcollective.substack.com. We just put out a really cool press release about Don't Push the Red Button. We talked a little bit about what's inside these tiers and what's going to be coming. So check that out. We're going to be, I don't think I told you, Alan, but once a month, I'm going to be doing a Kickstarter pull list. So I'm going to be
Okay.
one month prior to me writing this blog, I'm going to be asking people for some links and talking about their books. And I might pick one person to kind of interview and talk to them about that book. And I'm going to write something up on Substack to talk about these books and stuff like that, and drop links and all that stuff so that people can check these things out. And so it's another place so you can find some really cool comic books for you guys to check it out. So make sure you guys are following us on Substack to see when that drops every month. So so check us out there and all the good places. Alan, let's get the heck out of here and go to sleep. How do
Let's go
feel?
night. Yeah, it's
All right,
11 o'clock. I'm ready to go to bed.
All right, let's go to bed. We'll see you
All right.
guys later. Bye.
Night, everybody.